What the fuck?
I can't get jiggy with this shit.
WTF News.
All right, so a fast food worker, more specifically a Jack in the Crack worker, is accused of getting disgusting revenge on a customer that she has some shit with by allegedly smearing menstrual blood, and saliva on their order. Now, Miss Sky Juliet Samuels, you might have heard of her. She might have been on the FBs. You might have not thought the shit was real. She was working a late night shift back in January, and I guess this is in Columbus, Mississippi, when a woman had pulled up through the drive-thru. Now, according to colleagues, this 18-year-old worker had gotten in an argument with the customer as she was trying to order the burger and drink. Now, not to say that, every time, you get a black woman at a restaurant that, hardly pays shit and has to see her friends come through all the time talking shit to her. Not to say that she's gonna be a little disgruntled. Not to say that this bitch ain't gonna give all her love and all her efforts into it. But you can kind of see a fucking little Shaniqua bitch fucking just getting real upset. Because here your ass comes trying to order something while she's trying to pat down the weave and you getting her all upset. Now, some coworkers had claimed that this teenager had gotten on her own back by smearing, like I said, her period blood on the fucking bread of the burger with their fingers before licking the cheese slice inside the sandwich. Now, the saliva part is probably the lesser disgusting portion of it, so I'm not too sure if this bitch wanted to give all her juices, but she did. Now, once they had got home, the coworker had told her mom about, the shit that had gone on. So, of course, she went to posting it on the internet, and they had, called the store, general manager, and pretty much got shit on and popping. And like I said, once shit spreads on Facebook, it's like an STD, bitch. It's going everywhere. Now, when they asked her friends about what was going on, they all recorded as the bitch shouldn't have gotten smart and said all the shit all over the intercom. Motherfuckers act like they never did no stupid shit. I don't give a fuck about this, to be fucking real. Now, those are quotes. Now, as the news had alleged and the incident had spread, customers soon heard about them and, they went to the police. And they even issued a warrant on this bitch for, I think they put like a $5,000 bond on it. I mean, ultimately, and I can't say I've gone through such drastic measures, but if you ever see the movie Waiting, and I suggest y'all look it up. There's even a number 2. I don't remember if I ever looked at that one, but that was, an even shittier remake and sequel to something that, had kind of gotten a little bit of cult fandom. Don't fuck with the people that serve your food. Just bar none. Like, as much as I've wanted to talk shit to people, nigga, I wait until I have my hands on that shit. And I make sure that I'm paying cash if I feel so bold. Just, you don't do it.
What the fuck? I can't get jiggy with this shit.
WTF News.
Now, another fucking thing that you're not supposed to do, and I hope that I don't bite my own fucking tongue or have my own fucking bullet inserted into my rectum here on this one, because I know I speak very boldly, and I'm on a fucking public broadcast that ultimately can be heard and probably dug up years from now. Know that this all is in the sense of comedy, not towards anything and whatever affiliates may be behind me. Now, whether or not that just won't happen at all because of how raw and good I am, understand this is just a free fucking podium, so I'm able to make whatever sort of, buy to whatever little niche that has you motherfuckers listening. God bless you to that. But PewDiePie, which you might have heard of, is I don't know if he's Swedish, but he's just this annoying fucking scrappy looking motherfucker that got famous on the YouTubes over reactions of him playing fucking games. It got so, I'm talking about he's big, and you probably have heard of him. Out of all the little let's play gamers or people that are called gamers or people that you fucking see yelling into the screen while they're playing a fucking video game, this nigga cut through the mold. How the fuck? I have no idea. I can't lie. Well, I never fucking watched his shit, but I can't lie. Sometimes I have before, when time was very free, watched myself play watch other people play a certain game, knowing that I either don't have the system or that I would never buy it, or somehow something brought me to it, or they have some kind of comedy angle that just that I found hilarious. Like, for example, Game Grumps, and there's a bunch of them, but 2 in particular. They're 2 Jewy guys. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but these motherfuckers are the same essence, except that he doesn't really add any sort of valuable commentary. At least not that I think. And I could just be hating because I wish I could do the same thing. And if you probably listen to this, you probably seen a video game clip playing at the same time. It ain't the same catapult because I just fucking play, let the kids play. That's why it's done so shittily. I mean, I'm not good at games to begin with, but either which way, this motherfucker, I didn't know he was signed to Disney. Disney signed this motherfucker because knowing how big of an influencer he is, just how like when you're in the media and there's technology, if you have a big fan base, they're gonna send you these technologists to review because they know that you have the ears and eyes of the public who, again, will probably want to get it if you have it. Again, the factor of keeping up with the Joneses. So that's a factor into marketing that costs a big chunk and why shit becomes so expensive. Regardless, this guy who's fucking owned by Disney, which you'd figure they were a little bit racist, you know, especially anti-Semitic. Well, he had thrown out some comments and he was just joking around, fucking around, being a goofball. Motherfucker's in Switzerland. He doesn't know how PC we are down here. I mean, Disney's an American company that's international, but, you know, they have to abide by certain things, especially if they have stockholders and shits and feathers that can be rustled and can be upset. When he made some comments about, I guess he was doing some kind of thing, seeing if people would do it and go out with signs, and he was just throwing out random shit, assuming that they wouldn't do it because why would you be so dumb to fucking listen to some YouTuber? And sure shit, someone did, and someone had made a sign saying death to all Jews because he had said it. This motherfucker can literally tell kids to run out into the fucking streets and get hit by a car, and more than fucking likely, there's gonna be someone to follow suit because they fuck with him and they will die for him. And everyone has their own personal Jesus. Whether or not you are totally atheist, you have some kind of idol or some kind of shit that you quote unquote praise, for lack of a better word, and you will follow. You know what I'm saying, to the depths of whatever a fucking abyss, as long as, you know, you're probably promised something or you want to be cool, you want those fucking 15 minutes of fame. Unfortunately, that's the kind of power this kid has. This is why Disney had signed him to I don't know how many $1 million deal. And like I said, this guy makes millions regardless, just fucking playing his games. Did it hurt his campaign? I mean, you know, he lost a major sponsor, someone that people would fucking, you know, try to keep a clean-cut image for all their lives just to be able to maintain. But, I mean, Disney is known to turn out these fucking heads. They just how they have all of your little Disney hoes and Nickelodeon hoes that, you know, eventually grow up and then start selling sex. Like, they have a part into this because they know eventually they're going to be oppressed and they're going to move on and they're going to do their own dastardly deeds. Now, I'm just mad at this motherfucker for being able to get fired over just saying such stupid shit. Like, you figure, now, me, I'm on a very small forum right now, so I feel like I can say whatever the fuck I want. I'm being funny. I'm going to talk shit about it in all angles. Now, once, you know, you're sponsored and you know you have to abide by certain rules, then you have to go by that. But again, there's no fucking rules to the internet. Just how, you know, there's no rules and you can't really control what people do, whether they're going to do this or they're going to do it with or without your permission, if they really want to, whatever fucking promises they make. But it costs them a fucking couple $1 million. So as chump change as that might be, goddamn, do I hate this motherfucker. And why am I mentioning it?
How the fuck do you get paid to play games?
What the fuck? I can't get you with this shit.
WTF News.
Yo, there was a motherfucking 8th grade teacher who got suspended after giving students instructions on how to cook and inject meth for drama class. That's fucking right. Now, an 8th grade teacher who gave students instructions for making and injecting crystal meth for an acting assignment had been suspended, luckily without pay. I mean, not lucky for him, but for those that are concerned. And then so some Ontario mother who was like outraged when her 13-year-old son came and, you know, was trying to, I guess, I don't know if he was trying to get instructions or try to, you know, ask for some fucking help on how to do it. Because apparently in the shit, they actually explained or had them, you know, reenact how to act scared, you know, while they're making the drug, but then to act happy while they're injecting it. Fucking got full-fledged in the instructions, so how to wipe their arms and the bacteria before the injection. So I'm not too sure if they actually got down to how to cook it, how the fucking temperature and shit like that, but shit was popping off there in fucking Canada. So yeah, bro, we gotta make money somehow. And if Breaking Bad taught me anything, that there is definitely room for improvement. There is, you know, room for a strong brand, and also room for people to find their escapisms, and, you know, wherever that, you know, path may lie. And it's pretty dirt cheap too, so they can afford it if you go into your mama's purse and steal a couple dollars.
What the fuck? I can't get you with this shit.
WTF News.
Alright, so as a man who definitely enjoys his video games, someone who understands that by investing into the shit, there's not going to be any sort of monetary resale value unless you're okay with getting a few cents on the dollar by going on OfferUp or Craigslist, and a couple kids who also love those video games and happen to break everything they can get the dirty little mitts on, I can do with getting a few extra dough. Like I said, I almost wanted to go with the Breaking Bad version just because I know fiends are going to be fiends, and I figured maybe if I preach a little bit and tell them the error of their ways, but if they don't choose to listen, still sell them the crack anyway, I'd be feeling righteous in that transaction. We've always, who doesn't want to get rich? Who doesn't want to pay off their mortgage so that if they're going to go into work, they can be happier, or maybe they can do a work that they feel more fulfilled in, so it doesn't fucking feel like you're having to drag ass and do something and work for someone that is a piece of shit. There's many reasons why someone would want to be financially set, and Lord knows I'm looking for my get rich quick scheme. But a motherfucker, and I damn near shit my panties when I heard this. But there's a man in Spain who had found a container of Nesquik that was fucking topped off with 250-gram packets of Coke. Now that's he estimated to be about $14,000. And apparently, I don't know what the hell he did with it. I'm not too sure how he turned it in. I'm pretty sure he just was freaked out and said, here you go. But when I heard that shit, I was like, man, the people I would run to be like, yo, give me half of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if I get the full street value. Motherfucker, I'm selling it to you in bulk. This shit here is Costco. Give me my money. You know what I'm saying? Put it in a fucking account. Give it to me in small increments. Do whatever the fuck you gotta do. I got bills to pay. And I would love to be able to pay off a fucking chunk of that shit. And I know it's telling a lot of my character right there. This guy would do this, and I'm gonna be on some kind of Minority Report kind of shit. That's gonna try to bust me for shit that I haven't even fucking done. But I'm just saying, when you have the resources, like, why wouldn't you take advantage of them? And that can go into a whole other story about, what would you do and what would Jesus do? But again, I feel like we're given opportunities for a reason. If you can do something righteously, well, then more power to you, which I know, having to contribute to someone's addictions, isn't very guilt-free. Just how a lot of foods right now, they're riddled with, whatever fucking karma and brutality that, kind of gets ingested into us and things of that nature. But that doesn't make any of the business just the same. I'm talking to you insurance companies, health insurance companies, quote unquote nonprofits.
What? I can't get you with this shit.
WTFnews.
Alright, she might be telling yourself, so you must be out your goddamn high mother-loving mind if you believe that, you can make money off doing this shit. You can stop these big corporate organizations from being able to do such things, and you might be right, although I am completely fucking sober. I'm going on more than 24 hours. I'm really stressing out. No, I'm alright. But fucking speaking of flying high, and speaking of things and beliefs of which one would think would have to take certain measures would be when pigs fucking fly. But Uber actually hired a nigga from NASA to engineer an aircraft that could be the next flying car, or more so a taxi drone. And that shit can actually be up in the air for 1 to 3 years. Shit's fucking wild. Now, in the race to make, commercially available flying cars, Uber has hired this dude named Mark Moore, who was very talented NASA aircraft engineer, and then Moore even inspired Google's co-founder Larry Page to get involved with this, flying car project. Now, Uber definitely has gone in the realm and has really blown the doors open for those who invested early. Like I said, it fucking totally shit on cabs. It's opened up a new market and pretty much another self-employment kind of thing that just allows you to take shit into your own hands. Again, just building up and opening a lot of the lines of businesses that allow for said person to take shit upon themselves. Now, Uber now hopes on, with the help of more, to be able to actually have these flying cars, ready, except within only 1 to 3 years, which is just fucking amazing. It seems too fucking soon, but just like I said, the technology is there. Things have been bubbling, and I guess the plan called Uber Elevate is set to design these cars to, take off and land vertically, travel up to 100 miles an hour on a single charge, and it's set on being released in 2021. Now, there's just so much more that that has to be entailed. I'm not too sure exactly what the sky limitations are going to be. I don't know if you remember the movie Fifth Element with Bruce Willis and that little Vita Malkovich bitch, but I mean, it's gonna get there eventually, and I'm kind of geeked out and excited about it just because it's what we've been waiting for. I mean, is that gonna just to make our ozone layer tore the fuck up? I mean, that's where other motherfuckers are going to have to get involved and create all these rules and regulations, which might slow shit down. But again, while we're in the testing period, there's no telling what can happen from that. And I don't understand why we can't create some kind of like air purifier like they fucking have in the goddamn Indian reservation casinos so that you can fucking smoke in a goddamn room, and why something wouldn't be, correlate to the same thing. I mean, if we were to really invest into, our energy resources and being able to, not consume as much, but to, figure out how to rationalize and so that we can have as many plugs into the fucking outlet as we want without shit just fucking popping out. I mean, we can only hope. We can only wait. And I mean, shit, if they can fucking deliver your goddamn dildo through a fucking Amazon drone, why the fuck can't they ship your ass to go to the goddamn doctor to get that STD figured out, huh?
What the fuck? I can't get jiggy with this shit.
WTFnews.
Alright, so speaking of this not too distant future full of holy shit, is that fucking possible? Inspired by motherfucking President Donald J. Trump, improbable electoral victory, musicians and conservative activist Theodore Anthony Ted Nugent won't rule out a bid for the U.S. Senate. He was quoted saying, "I'm always very interested in making my country and the great state of Michigan great again. And there is nothing I wouldn't do to help in any way I possibly can." He had told that to the Daily Caller in an interview, but earlier this week, the Nuge shared on a blog post on a Facebook page that suggests that he could run in Michigan Senate race in 2018. Now, the musician sounds determined to keep, his home state red. They had asked him, or he was quoted saying, "Though we dodged the toxic blue bullet on November 8th and show that real Michigan is bright red, the embarrassing high crime blue smudges in the state must be fixed and moved ASAP Rocket." Now, one of the fucked up things about that blue is the fucking hardworking Americans that were working on the fucking cars that are now unemployed, homeless, and, fellow crack smokers drinking that dirty milk water and fucking Flint. But what really tripped me out, I guess, and not too sure if this was, trying to be a race, but Nugent would actually be the second rocker to have had his name floated around in the chatter about the upcoming election. Kid fucking Rock, if you might remember Bod to the Bod, Bang a Bang Diggy, that motherfucker, he has also been named as a possible candidate. Now, I don't know what the fuck you have to do to be able to throw your hat in the fucking ring. You know what I'm saying? I think once if they figure if a reality star can be a fucking president, then why the hell can't rockers or someone who can sell out arenas, or possibly general admission
little shitholes.
Fucking, I can't think of the fucking word. Amphitheaters.
Yeah, too.
Why can't that dude throw their hat in the fucking race? And and in all honesty, why the fuck can't you? Shit, if we could have a fucking immigrant from Germany become the goddamn mayor of California, nigga, ain't nothing that you can't fucking do. Not a goddamn thing. And to that I say,
What the fuck? I can't get jiggy with this shit.
WTFnews.
Nice. So now I have a bunch more what the fucks to give, but I want to save them for the show on Saturday with Verse, so that you guys can enjoy a full feature-length episode of the I'm Black, He's Mexican podcast. Even though it's gonna probably be more of an interview on fucking Verse and why the fuck he's been MIA for so goddamn long. Motherfucker doesn't even do the app sobs. The hell, Verse. Either which way though, in the name of eliminating drug crimes, from the Philippines, President Rodrigo Duterte has pretty much kind of created a nightmare of just brutal slaughters, and police had estimated that since July, estimation is always going to be under, not over, that they killed more than 2,000 people on just suspected drug-related crimes. In addition, more than 3,500 homicides remain quote-unquote unsolved, and many of the hands by unknown vigilantes. Now, even though that Duterte had not directly ordered individual killings, there's no doubt that they're being carried out by his approval, because he had even campaigned on a promise to begin a killing spree to eliminate the country's drug problem, and he had pledged bounties to those who would help. And so he's, defied calls from United Nations and the United States and European unions to stop it. Now, instead of lashing out, calling President Obama a son of a whore and threatening to pull the Philippines out of the UN and International Criminal Court, Duarte says that he has found a sympathetic ear in the president-elect Donald Trump, which should be fucking sign number one. This shit is not good, which is true. It would be deeply shocking, but the two men spoke on the phone back in December, and, you know, Trump had assured him that as far as the Philippines war was, you know, drug was concerned, quote unquote, we are doing it as a sovereign nation the right way. And then Trump wished him well. And even, like, during the whole, what do you fucking call it? When they were campaigning to try to, you know, get Trump in, like, he was a firm supporter of it. Matter of fact, this motherfucker would say asinine shit. I don't know if you remember a few episodes back, he had not like a swear jar, but he had like promised or give like an oath to God saying that he wouldn't fucking cuss. But he's one of those politicians that will say fuck you out loud. I mean, shit, he called Obama a son of a whore. Like, I can't understand where they're viewing these shits at, and I can't understand, especially with the, you know, immigration beliefs that, you know, Trump has at least imposed or tried to give the illusion of how he can have the backing of people like this. But again, you know, like minds, right?
What? I can't get jiggy with this shit.
WTF News.
You in here for some marijuana? Marijuana? Man, this is some bullshit. Marijuana is not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke. I seen them. Now that's an addiction, man. You ever suck some dick for marijuana? Huh? No, I can't say I have. I didn't think so. Who's this man?
What the fuck? I can't get jiggy
All right,
with this
motherfucker,
shit.
this is the end of it.
WTF News.